Hello and welcome once again to Minecraft on Nomad's World. Today we're going to build ourselves a XP farm for now that we've got the mending, and we're going to use this skeleton spawner here to make that happen. Now there's two ways of going about this. One is an item drop, and that could be an AFK farm, and the other is to just have this have these guys spawn and come to an area that they can then be killed without actually getting to you. That's what we're gonna do with this one for now, and later on we're gonna make a little water trough that goes up, and then they drop and die, and we'll see if that gets us any gear. In the past, when I've done it, the last one I did, I seem to have found that it doesn't drop, the skeletons don't drop their gear. They drop arrows and bones, and maybe a few bows, but none of the armor and enchanted stuff. Now, that last one that I had done was under this one has the last one had a ocean above it, so I couldn't go up as high as I would have liked to, and then had it go across and had them drop, so they weren't dropping and far enough. So maybe the armored ones they were dropping far enough that if they had no armor on, they were dying. That wasn't the problem. But if they had armor, they were kind of stacking up, and so that may have been the problem. And we'll take a look at that in a future episode, probably. So first of all, what we're going to do, as I recall, the skeletons can spawn as far away as 4 blocks. Now, of course, this wall here is the 4th block. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those blocks out. We're just going to basically extend the walls out 1 more block. That will get the maximum amount of spawn space for the skeletons to spawn in. Usually skeletons, I think most mobs from spawners is usually 1 to 3 at a time. So that's what we're gonna just expand this, and it's also gonna help us later when we make the water elevator and everything. So what we're gonna do now, we don't want to get rid of too many torches because then the skeletons will start spawning, but we can get rid of a couple, and we'll get rid of this one here. And then we'll take this wall and we'll go that way, and then we'll put some torches on that, and then that wall, and etc. So let's get started. I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got the walls extended and refilled in the gaps that I had, and we now have well, wait a minute, it looks 4 that way, 4 that way. Looks like we need to go 1 more that way and 1 more that way. Alright, let me go ahead and do that. And the objective here is to create an area that that the skeletons can't get out, first of all. And then I broke my pick. Alright. First of all, we're good to our gear here. Obviously I brought a crafting table, a couple of chests to put stuff in. Got some supplies here for both the mainly for the water elevator, for the mob elevator, and then I have a unlimited water source here for our use. And what we is pickaxe. There it is. Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Wow. That was shift clicked, and I did not want to do that. Well, live and learn, right? Okay. And back at this. And put the torch back, keep it well lit. Not that I can't use the torches, but now, of course, I could be using the diamond pickaxe, make it a little faster, with efficiency and all that, but for now, I'm going to continue to use iron tools. And I apologize for the yawn there. I'm going to continue using iron tools for simple stuff like this when I'm, you know, if I'm doing a massive mining project, you know, like the excavation site, then yeah, I'm going to use the diamond pickaxe, simply because I can get it mended once I've got this done, and it'll be more quicker. An couple of iron pickaxes for a project like this, not a big deal. It doesn't really slow us down that much. Alright, so now we are 4 by 4. So the next thing we need to do, we want to let's remove this door and torch, which was just a spot for me to kind of hide in while I was working on some other things on the computer and keeping my character in the game. I don't tend to log out very often, and I didn't want something to sneak up on him, so little hidey hole. Alright, now next thing we need to go down a little bit. We'll go down one more. And we're going to place 2 blocks and take that one out. No. Put that one back. We want to bring these back a little bit. 2. There we go. And then a block there. What that allows us to do is we can get here, and the skeletons typically, something doesn't look right. Okay, there we go. Alright, so what this allows is for minimal amount of space for when you're standing here, for the skeletons to be able to hit you. Alright, now you're actually going to stand like here, and that way they can't hit you with their bows. Alright, now the next thing we want, I can do it this way. I'm not going to shift click on that, that's for sure. Alright, and we will place a slab there. Okay, now I think I need to go down one more. Or is it? No. So, sorry. I don't build these ones like this very often. I think it's like that. What this allows is that the skeletons will be standing up a little bit and their view will be blocked. So you'll be able to hit them, you'll still be able to get the XP. Now, if you need to gather the gear that they drop, you can break this block, grab the gear, come back and replace the block. Alright. What that you should be able to get some of the gear this way without breaking the block, but by breaking this block here and having this one here, they're standing too tall to come through. They probably be able to hit you with arrows and stuff, but if you wait until you've got them all killed, then come in here real quick and then replace the block. Alright, so let's do a little fix up here. Let's take like this. And one more. Okay. And we're going to get some stairs. And I didn't bring any with me, so we will make some stairs. Oh, I need this block gone. Alright. Like that. We can go up and down. Come in here. Got our kill zone. Alright, next thing we need to do, let's move that. We don't need that, don't need that. We want to be able to place these fairly quickly. None of my gear, other than the sword, all of this is fully repaired or solid. So we're gonna use it for a little bit to show the mending part on the sword itself. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to eat. And actually let's go in like this. Alright, now what we need to do, without falling in there, that would be not catastrophic, but it would get kind of dangerous in here. We're going to start removing some of these torches. And of course I didn't get this. There we go. Don't want them getting hung up in there. I want them dropping down here. And let's put a torch here so we keep stuff from spawning down here. Alright. And okay, if you watch the sword, every time you see how when I swing it, let's do that one more time. We'll get some guys to drop down here. Now the one thing I can do to make this a little more efficient is to use some water blocks to push the skeletons into this block here. And I think what I will do is do that next. But I want to show this mending feature first and how this works. Come on. Nice and dark up in there. Okay, when I hit them with the sword, it kind of pulsates the sword itself to show that it's taking a hit of durability. Okay, and then when it gets some XP, it'll pulsate again when it's mending. Now, it doesn't do it for every piece of XP you get. So you have to keep an eye on it. This is where unbreaking comes in handy, because you can reduce the amount of durability loss from attacks. If I had smite on the sword, then it would do more damage, so I'd kill him quicker. Right now I'm doing about 2 hits, I think it was, with sharpness too, so that's not bad. So it takes 2 damage, and hopefully it's getting 2 back, or more. Now another way I can do it they're being really stubborn. Alright, so what we're going to do, put this back here. Let's put a torch there. And we're going to start lighting it up. Light it back up, and we're going to put some water features to help improve the efficiency . Go in here. All right. Now, with the 1 torch on here, that prevents this thing from spawning. However, it is still kind of dark in here, so there's a possibility that it may be in these corners. But what we're going to do is we'll see if that happens. Sure, I'm still good here. Alright. Now what we're going to do is we're going to place water in the corners. We're going to grab our buckets. And don't need that. Now that will push them from that side over to here. We need to increase. Oh, I know what the problem is. I usually go down 1 level. Let's do that. Okay, so we will go dig this out. Fill that in. Grab that while we're here. Now the reason I'm doing this, skeletons will still spawn. Like I said, it's like an 8 block radius around, or actually 4 block radius from the block of the spawner. So it's actually more like 9 blocks across. But this will allow the water to go underneath. And what we want here, I want to place a couple of torches. Yeah, that's not going to work. Without anything on top, stuff is spawning, so we're going to keep that torch on there. Alright, and because we're going to need these torches here out of the way, grab this here real quick, fill it in. Alright. And that's not doing what I was expecting it to do. Usually it goes all the way over to here. Okay. So if we put water blocks, sorry, this is taking a little bit. Probably going to end up falling in that hole. Now we can dig our way out. Okay, one more. Okay, So that'll push them all the way over here. Next thing we need fill that in. I don't want to fall in there. I'll fall in multiple times more than likely. Okay. So that gets us to there. Then we need to this spot. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go fill up our buckets one more time. And alright, you probably see what I'm doing here. So, if we were up at this level and brought the water through here, it would create dead spots. This way, the skeletons, no matter where they spawn up here in this surface area, they will be pushed into this trough. These water blocks, we will block off some of this. Like that. There we go. Alright, hopefully that didn't come through. A little cough there. Alright, so now what we've got is a spot here that they can't get out of. Alright, it'll bring them right to this block here, and this will be the kill spot. Now I need to get out of here. We'll just dig our way out like that. Okay. Can I reach that torch? Yes. Alright. And then we'll fill this in. Alright. We'll finish this kill zone here, because we don't want them. Let's see, we want to fill in this block right here. Okay. And we're going to avoid the what happens if I take this out? Should I go down lower? Well, the thing I don't like is being like here and skeletons back along that wall back there being able to shoot at me. Or as they're being pushed this way, they'll see me and shoot at me. And I don't really like that idea. So if I go down one more, if I do this, they can't hit me when they're standing here. But if I go down one more, that reduces, they may not be able to see me at all then. No, that doesn't matter because they're going to get pushed here. Yeah, let's push them right into that spot right there. And we'll block that off. And then okay. First priority is the XP. let's go. Need a pickaxe. Alright, let's give this a shot. And first we'll get those there. Get that. Okay. That looks good. Okay, let's put that there. Let's see if we can get our sword repaired. It's taking 2 hits to kill them. At least the normal ones. The armored ones may be a little bit more. So like to see some armor and some bows, enchanted bows coming out of this. Let's go drop off some loot here. That's part of the loot we've been getting. Some arrows. Got a bow. Oh no, that's the bow. That's my bow. Don't need any of that. Leave that there. Okay, so this is our... I'll put that in there. So we got our weapon, our food, and our torches, and this is the loot we're getting. So far, no armor or enchanted bows. Now that is partly due to the difficulty level of this, of what we're doing. So let's show what it does. Just for giggles, put it on hard, just for a little bit. And it is random. You know, there is a... It doesn't... The chance of a skeleton having armor, having enchanted equipment, that's all purely random. The amount of durability on the bows that you get, usually they're never full. I have seen some with green on them, but it's usually like about a half 50% of the durability. I have a feeling we're only breaking even on this. On the mending of our sword. But if we go like this and just take Doesn't matter if it's a bow or whatever. We're not actually gonna. Actually, we could. We got lots of arrows now, so we could do it this way. Let's take this gear off just to make sure, because I don't want to cause a little issue here where maybe it's randomly thinking to put the repairs on the gear that is already full, maybe. Oh, and I gotta go to that like that. Okay, let's go like. So as soon as he dies, we switch to the sword, and it takes repair. Now there's an enchanted bow, but I didn't get it. There's another one. Gotta remember to switch to my sword. There we go. Sword is now repaired. Alright. Let's go get our bow. And we'll get that repaired. Now I know that these things aren't really, like, seriously damaged. But it shows how it works. There we go. Alright. So, the next thing we're going to do, we'll take all this gear here. Need that. And we'll put all this junk. Alright, and how do we want to do this? We could let them stay where they're going for now. Well, we could block it off. Need some building blocks in order to do that. There's another one with an enchanted bow. It's not going to drop it. There we go. Okay. Oh, hey, we got an enchanted bow. Power 1. Yeah, that's pretty much worthless to me. Alright, so we've got them blocked off so that they can't come out. And what we're going to do, this is going to end up becoming a water block right here. So when they drop down into here, they will then get pushed in this direction. Okay? In fact, yeah, when I take that out, and then I'll put a water block there. Equip. 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 And that. Okay. Take that stair. Okay. So that'll be a water block there. And then I'll take those 2 blocks out. Okay. And then let's put a torch there for now. Keep this lit up. And it's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to move my stuff, don't I? Yep. Alright. Yep. Grab that. Let's go over here. Over. Not really concerned about being organized. This one's mostly just got a bunch of junk in it, and all my picks. I'll end up using some of the picks, but in this project, probably 1 or 2 more. All right. The one thing I'm lacking is signs. Let me go grab some wood. There's some more iron. I don't even know why I bothered to pick that stuff up anymore. The coal, definitely. I'll come down here and go after that coal. I need some signs to make this work. Really short on wood, am I not? Let's see, 10 signs, that's going to be 20 blocks, and I want to go about 30. Let's go get some... Get some more wood. How's this doing? Oh, doing pretty good. Where do I have? Oh, he's up at the. He's at the iron farm. All right. First thing we need to do is be able to see the mobs. And the saplings. So I'm gonna go ahead and clear this tree farm out, gather up all the wood, replant, and make some more signs, and then I'll meet you back down at the skeleton farm. Be right back. Okay, I'm getting close there. I got all the leaves cleared out to where I can see. Uh, this does a couple of things if you may have been curious about. Number one, if I'm able to see the mobs coming, you know, if they're, because I am still here in the tree farm, I am a little vulnerable because over there's, you know, this spot over here that the mobs can come down and get into part of my base. Not something I'm really concerned about for the most part, but yeah, you know, they can still get in here. Same with the spiders, you know, they can crawl in here. And I thought about putting up a wall. I started to build a wall over here, and I was gonna build one here up to the glass, and I kind of just like stopped working on it. And but the other thing it allows me to do is to see all these saplings. Alright, when I am out here working on rebuilding my sapling supply, or even just when I'm, you know, anytime I'm cutting down trees, I want to get as many of the saplings as I can. So I need to be able to see them. As you can see, this axe, silk touch, efficiency 4 and mending 1, working really good. I mean, it's just a little single click, and if I barely click, then, you know, it doesn't do it. But I click and a hold for just a split second, and it cuts through the wood like crazy. I'd already used this diamond axe a little bit, and it, you know, that's why it's, the durability is down already a bit. And it's just because, you know, I didn't have mending on it at the time. I may not have even had efficiency. No, I think I had efficiency. I just had every other block was a tree, and so there was a lot more wood here to be gained. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the waiting game. I'm not going to, I'm going to go do something AFK for a little bit, let some of these, a lot of these leaves die down, then I'll come back and I'll replant, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I waited a little while, probably about 60-70% of the leaves had broken up. I grabbed all the saplings and apples, and then broke up the rest of the leaves myself. Then I've replanted. As you can see, I'm getting getting restocked here, and a few more times of this, and I should have a good number of saplings. Then I can go back to planting every other block again, so that I can rebuild my wood supply. I did get looks like 132 blocks of wood, so that'll be plenty for what we're working on. And we'll go make some signs, and let's put these apples in here and iron away. We'll take the wood with us. Let's see, down, and we'll make our mob elevator. I'll show you how that works. And let's see, we're gonna need buckets and of water. What else are we gonna need? We're gonna need some more. Gonna need a bit of stone. Alright, So if we put water here, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So this is where the water will end. This is where we want the item elevator to go up. We're going to go from here and we'll go straight up. Let's go put a wall around this. Oh, we need to fill our buckets up. See, I don't need that. I'll need that and that. I need another. Let's fill all of our buckets up. Don't got any more buckets. That's fine. Doesn't really matter. We can come back down and get more water easily enough. Oh, and one more pickaxe. Just to make sure we have enough mining ability. Let's fill this in. Torch there, and for right now, let's make an ability to get up here too. Alright, because we want to be able to get to our water source. I don't want to build another water source, so. And that, okay. Alrighty, so that's all encapsulated, and what we're going to do is we're going to be digging straight up, sort of. I mean, we're going to, you know, dig here and then come over here because we don't want nothing falling on us like gravel, and you know, there could be lava or something up there. Unlikely. Probably going to be mostly solid all the way up to the surface. I don't think we're going to go all the way up. We're at level 8. We want to go to 38. We'll go to 40. Once we hit 40, then we'll make the top and go from there. So, let's see. First thing we need here. Get rid of that. And there we go, because we don't want the water going that way. We want it just a single trough of water. And we'll put the first water there. That'll push the skeletons over to here. Okay. Now, place a sign. What this does is the skeletons will get right here and they'll be bobbing up and down. Alright? Now, what they're going to do is when they're bobbing up and down, they're going to catch, let's see, I'll put another block there. Put a water here. Okay, now we stand at the bottom on the stone, but we're standing in water, and mobs have a tendency to bob up and down, and what that does is that catches them into their head, gets into the next one, and they will basically swim to the surface of this one. Okay, now we put another sign here, and we'll put a water here, and we'll continue up until we hit level 40. Okay, now I'm probably going to have to go back down and I'm going to have to go, let's Let's make a way to get over here. Because we need to go get to our water source. Alright, and then we'll fill this back in once we're done. Alright, looking good. Alright, let me get the elevator part put in, and then we'll work on the top. The thing I didn't show was how I'm closing this in. So I put another water here, put another sign, and then we'll move our torch up. I hit some gravel here, so that was helpful. I went down in there, and I went down and got rid of it, and then I got here, and I had to kind of go over to the edge and chop, and then the gravel dropped here and pushed me into the water. But so far so good. So when I get to this point, what I do is I select my building blocks, go up a couple, then put another water and another sign. And I don't have to put anything on the sign. And then go up 2 more. And then repeat, rinse and repeat. Alright, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just kind of basically using this spot here to go up and build the elevator there. Looks like I'm coming into something that I've already cleared. It's already lit up a little bit. Let's take a look at that real quick. I probably already gathered. Oh, I guess I haven't gathered all the resources. Pretty decent iron chunk here. It's probably 2 put together. There's some more. Alright. What do we got over this direction? Yeah, I'm not going to go exploring all this. Alright, so let's close this off. There we go. And we continue to mine our way to the top. And if I need to, I can go this way. If some gravel's falling, I can move over here and drop into the water. If I do it like right now, it's a little bit of a pain to, you know, get the next setup done, but it's just a little bit of practice. Alright, heading for level 40. Be right back. Okay, we got to level, the level we want to be at. This here is, if we're standing here, that's level 40, but we need, I guess we could do it, yeah, we could do that right there. Okay. Now what we're going to do is build a tunnel right through here for the skeletons. This is going back towards the skeleton farm, but we're not going to go back down all the way to the skeleton farm. What I'm kind of wondering is, if I go this way, never done this before. I'd kind of like to go like 2 blocks here and then it drops. Usually I put right here at this block here, I put the next water, and it goes 8 blocks that way, and then it drops. But I'm wondering if it'll flow 8 blocks right across this spot here. I've never tried that before. Let's try it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more. And start with that like that. Okay, yeah, that works perfect. Okay, now we want to block off some of it. Okay. And all right. Well, let's take that one back out. Doesn't really make much difference. Okay. And then we will fill that in. And then we'll have 2 here for as we're going down. Alright. So the way it works, as you can see, each block for us and for items, we sink. I mean, unless I'm swimming, then I'm going up like that. So if I'm pressing the space bar, I'm swimming. But if I just get into that spot and let myself sink, I'll go all the way down to the bottom. So the skeletons have a natural, they don't want to sink. They don't want to drown, so they'll swim to the surface. Okay? So they will come in here from that direction. And all I got to do is take that block right there out. That'll remove the torch. I have to make sure I block this off while I'm at it. And then they'll come over here and go up. Okay. Now, when they get to the top, that little stream that I've got at the top will push them in one direction, which is this way, and then they will drop to their death. Alright, so next thing to do is to dig down until I can hear the skeletons. The thing to be aware of, well, I'm going to go down basically maybe I want to go the other way. No, I want to be, see, I need a spot that I can be basically AFK in a little hidey hole where I'm nice and safe, but it keeps the spawner loaded, so the skeletons keep spawning. The water will then push them into the trough, up the elevator. They'll go, come across here, and then drop to their death, which then their loot will be put into a hopper, and which goes into a chest, which I can then loot. That chest will be accessible to me in my little hidey hole, plus I'll be able to get from the hidey hole out to my mining area. So this is 1241 and I also need to make sure, I'm not sure if I'm all the way down there really close to the spawner, if they will like be unloaded when they get up to the top here. So that's something we're gonna have to kind of experiment with. But first things first. First we need to dig down until we get back down to the bottom trough of water, and then we'll build one up from that for our kill zone. So we just mine straight down. Now, as we're mining straight down, we will also let's put that, and we don't need more signs. We'll also fill in this section here because we really just want this, but we don't want to hit a snag, so we dig like this. That way, if that falls through or something, you know, we're not on it when it does that. This is the safest way to dig straight down. And we should probably put a torch. I'll put one there. Put some more blocks. Make sure I'm not getting myself confused here on which side I'm on. Should be easy enough. Another torch. Take that one. Torches aren't going to make an issue with the, you know, once they're in this system, it doesn't, the amount of light doesn't matter. But there's no need to light it up any more than you need to for the construction. Okay, I can hear the skeletons. Put a torch there. Take that one. Okay. And use up some of the andesite. And another, let's see, dig, another torch, grab that one, you can hear the water. I can't tell if it's the water from the elevator, which is just like over there a couple of blocks, or if it's the water below us. I think I'm hearing the water in the spawner. Okay. Okay, let's do that. Let's drop down in the water here. That's what I thought. Okay. So, they will drop down, and we are going to make a little, let's see, we need a door. Where's my door? There it is. Okay. We're going to dig. There. Put a torch there. Well, door like that. Okay. Then we're going to dig straight over. Okay. This is going to be where they fall to their death. So we want to fill in right there. Okay. And I want them to die. Let's put the hopper right there. Need a couple of chests and need our hoppers. For a moment, I'm going to make a little platform here. Okay, we don't want to remove any of these blocks. This area here is going to get all filled in. And just for giggles, let's make a new water source. Probably won't need it, but we'll have it if we do need it. We're going to remove all this. Oops. Nope, 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 nope. Don't want to mess things up. Okay. Come along here, and they swim up. Okay, so that's still working. Okay. I just want to be able to get down there to remove that block. And what we're going to do is block off all of this. That way they can't get out that way. And let's see, this is close that off. Okay, so they drop down, and where do I want my chest? Let's put the chest right here. hopper system going into that. And we need one more. Is that pointing into this one? Yes, it is. Okay, so they should fall, die on that one. It should funnel into the chest, which we can then access. And with this block here open, we need a piece of glass. Free up some space here. Not that it really makes much difference. Okay. And I put the glass back in the chest. There we go. Now we can see what's going on in here. And see if we're getting dead mobs. Or, you know, mobs that are standing here, not being killed. Now let's fill in this. Like that. Alright, and this will be our hidey hole. We can basically kind of camp out right here. Let's put a torch. Keep it well lit. Alright. And if we wanted to, we could basically we could put the chest in there, put a piece of glass over it, and then we could access it from inside. Let's do that instead. So, chop up the chest. Need these 2 blocks removed for the chest so that it will open. So now it'll go in like that. And then, see, this is where I go for efficiency, you know. There, now I can see in there. Let's go over here. And put glass. Let's take these ones out too. There we go. We can access the chest from in here. We can sit here, AFK. We can see in there. We can have this door closed so we're safe. We're lit up. And the next thing to do would be to build a secondary storage system. We could build it onto this, but just something that we can like take some stuff out of here and put in here. Maybe in here. Can't go that way too far because of the spawner, but we could probably go a little bit, you know, make another room onto this. Really doesn't matter. We could widen this right here up to have, you know, like 1, 2, you know, they could be stacked 2 tall. We could even take some of the ceiling out, make it 3 tall. Whatever we wanted to do here for storage. Build up a bunch of bone, arrows, old bows, and some gear. And I'll probably do that on my own, because that's not really something I need to drag you through. So let's test it out. Let's put all that in there, and we are going to. Oh, we need. Like that. Okay. So we take this block out, and then go back and put like that. And I think it should work. There he goes. Looks like they get hung up a little bit right there, but not too bad. If they got hung up any more than that, I'd probably put a block there. Oh, let's put a piece of glass there. Yeah. And let's take... Doesn't look like I can grab that block there. What if I try to go there? That'll work. Alright. Now I can see down there a little bit. Ooh, that one had chain armor on him. Alright, so still got access to that. Oh, that guy's got an enchanted bow. So this is working. We'll see if that guy with the chain armor, we'll see if he dies. That's what's gonna be the telltale. I'm going to go AFK here for a minute and see if I can't get a few guys with armor and see if the armor goes in here or if they stack up here, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so we are getting a few, a little few here that there was an enchanted bow. I saw a couple pieces of gold armor. That guy had leather armor. Let's see what these guys, if they drop anything. Someone in there should drop. There's some more leather armor. That guy might have been one of the gold. It's kind of hard to tell when they hit. They just hit and die so quick. So far, just arrows and bone. So it may not be working the way I would hope. Which is quite possibly the way it's supposed to work, is that you need to actually physically hit them, do some damage to them in order for them to drop their loot. Unfortunately. So, unfortunately, it looks like this doesn't work quite the way I would like it to. Because I'm just not seeing anything dropping gear. Which would be really nice because, let's face it, having free loot, I get quite a bit of, on my other server before I started this one, before I started doing videos, they would stack up because if they didn't drop quite far enough to die when they were in armor. If they didn't have armor, they would survive. If they didn't have armor, they would die. But if they had armor, they would survive the fall, but they would have taken, you know, a bit of damage, and then I could just beat on them. And then the hopper would grab their gear and throw it in the chest. So that seems to be the only way to get gear out of them, like the bows, the enchanted bows and the gear. But I was getting a lot of gold armor, iron armor, chain armor, and leather armor. The leather armor I have no use for because you can't break that down into leather. So it's pretty much worthless when you consider that you've got access to the chain armor, the iron armor, and the gold armor that is dropping off these guys. Unfortunately, most of the bows that I was getting off of them were the guys that had armor. So sometimes you get a skeleton that all he has an enchanted bow. You know, so there's going to be a few of those that are going to go through the system and die and not drop anything good. So, unfortunately, this is a failure. I'll have to look into this to see if there's a way to make it happen. I mean, in terms of bone, yeah, we could gain a lot of bone from this by, you know, we could take this and go like, you know, fill this up, because we really don't have any use for the arrows. But we would also have to, oh, see, now he survived. He's got a little bit of armor on him. So now if we kill him, we actually picked up what he dropped. Feather falling, leather boots. See, that's worthless. And what I did in mine was I had another chest that basically you take a chest that has a hopper underneath of it. So let's say, you know, like here's a double chest, or just a single chest. You put a hopper underneath of it that pulls the items out of the chest. And this is a trash barrel, basically, is this chest. So the hopper underneath of it pulls the items out, puts them into a dispenser. The dispenser then spits out the items. You have a redstone clock operating to keep ticks going through the dispenser. Every time the clock activates the dispenser, it spits out an arrow or whatever, leather armor and whatnot. And then, like, so the dispenser would be here. You'd have your redstone clock out, you know, somewhere connected up, and then it would spit it out. This block would be blank. You'd have blocks here to prevent anything from, you know, like going too far, and then you would have lava right here. And what that would do is it would spit it out. It would hit there, drop down into the lava and burn up and be gone. If you accidentally put something into there, you know, if you can't get it out quick enough, it's gone. So another method would be, instead of lava, just have a little pit that's just, you know, or, you know, this could be just an open block, or, you know, several open blocks, and it just spits the items out. And that way, if you go, oh man, I just put something in there that I didn't mean to, you know, totally by accident, you could dig through the wall, get around there, and hopefully grab the items either out of the dispenser, out of the hopper, out of the chest, or off the ground before it despawns. So I apologize. The idea for this, for getting items, doesn't work the way I'd like it to. I mean, the bones are good for bone meal. So there is that. But for now, we'll just do this. this is gonna fill up real fast if I'm standing here for any length of time with bone and arrows. So what we'll probably do is I could put a sign here and I could put a water block here. What would happen, or not there, but maybe up a couple blocks, and what would happen is they would fall, hit the water, and then land right there. And they're going to be alive, and I can kill them, get my XP. You know, and you could always do this as a. I could put a dispenser here, put my sign, you know, over here, and which would occupy the space so the water doesn't come down, and the water. Actually, it would be the sign there, and then the water would be there. I put a dispenser there; it would dispense water whenever I hit a button, you know. So the mobs would drop, die whenever I want them to, hit the button, and then they would stop dying and I could collect XP. You know, that's probably not what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to just put some water right there, put a sign right there, close this back off, and this will be an XP spot until I need to do, you know, until I figure out some other way to get mobs out of this, or items out of these guys. Yeah, because if this isn't going to work, then mob farms don't work in Bedrock. That would be my guess from the way this is working right now. Which is unfortunate because that was something else I want to do. I want to do a mob farm. I've never done one, or I've done one before, but it didn't. For some reason, it wasn't working properly. I made a really dark room way up in the sky and had the water going to the center, and then they would drop, just like the iron farm. But in this case, it was just a dark space that creepers and zombies and skeletons could spawn in, and they would get sucked into the middle and by the water and fall to their death. But they would land on the hoppers, and thus you would get your loot. But doesn't seem to work. So in Bedrock Edition, at least, it doesn't seem like you get. That's supposed to be. No, yeah, it doesn't matter really. If it was zombies, that would be different. They could get through here, but the skeletons are all the same size. They can't get through here. So that's going to do it for this episode. I will do a little research on this and see if anybody else has a working farm that gets the gear to drop from these guys, and I'll get this thing fixed, hopefully. If you like this video, I don't know why you would like it, but it was very long and probably fairly boring, but hopefully you learned a little bit. The item, or the mob elevator, is a useful feature. How to set up the room for the skeletons is probably pretty useful. Obviously this isn't working quite right, so that's a failure. But if you did like it, please be sure to like and comment and subscribe, please. Share this channel, please. And if you know how to fix this problem and get loot out of these guys, please be sure to comment and let me know. I'd really like to fix this problem and start my armory, which is just basically a room that showcases various armor and weapons and tools. And that's going to do it. And I will see you next time. Thank you.